Good morning, everybody. Let's do some iguana food prep together. Today, the kids are going to get dandelion greens. They're not going to get this whole bundle. They'll probably get about a third of it. They're in breeding season and they're not eating that much. We're going to use up all these collard greens because they're starting to get a little bit old. They're starting to get just a little bit wilty, so we want to use those. So that's it for the greens, just the dandies, the green dandelions, and the collards. And then I want to use up these last two okras because they're also starting to get a little bit old. And then for fruits, we have 6 blueberries, half a banana, and then I'm going to peel some parsnip and make a mixture with the okra, blueberries, banana, and parsnip and spread that on top of their greens. So first what I'm going to do is wash everything but the banana. So I really enjoy putting everything right in the sink. It's real slick. Before I wash, I make sure that my sink is clean. I pay attention to little things like making sure that the sponge and the dish soap, which I usually keep right here, it's not really a big deal. The sponge is dry, so there isn't anything dripping from it. But just for extra measure, I like to remove it from the sink in case I get water up there. I don't want to have any soap residue dripping down into the sink, so I make sure to just clean it and spray it out with water really good before I rinse their food. I try to get organic food for them, so we'll just throw these collards right in here, and the blueberries, the okra. Now I'm gonna peel most of the parsnip, most of the outer part of it off, but I'm still gonna go ahead and give it a rinse because there is some dirt on there. And some of the dandelion greens. So I only wash what I'm about to use that day so that the rest can stay fresh as possible. So we'll do about this many dandelion greens. I'm feeding 2 adult male iguanas, but they're in breeding season, so they're not real hungry because they're mostly just focused on mating right now. So this is what it looks like. And if we need more, we can grab more out of the fridge, but I'm going to put these back in the fridge. Yeah, do a food prep together. I think I want to do a food prep with you all where we plan it ahead of time. You know, we get the same ingredients and then like food prep together. That would be kind of fun, I think, and it would be a good opportunity for people to share what different foods they prepped. Make sure that our iguanas are getting a big variety of foods. Alright. And I do wash, even when things are organic, I still do wash them. I should say rinse. So what I'm going to do first is the greens. I'm going to grab their 2 plates. So let me see if I can do a wide angle view of this sink. Maybe not. So I just go ahead and put 1 plate on each side of the sink. There's really, I'll show you what it looks like. So yeah, I just have, pardon me y'all, I'm getting over this. I'm recovering from this thing. So I've got my cutting board ready. I've got 1 plate on this side, 1 plate on that side. Makes it pretty simple. This one barely fits, but it just all. Alright, I'm gonna let the excess water drain out of here. And I don't use a knife. If I'm in a hurry, I might use a knife. But I usually just rip off bite-sized pieces with my hands. So this is about what the size that each piece looks like for my adult males. They really enjoy, like, they're even good with this. Now during breeding season, since they don't have as much of an appetite, and it just doesn't seem as easy for them to eat, I'll probably keep the pieces a little smaller like this. But if it was not breeding season, which is all the warm months, during the warm months we'll do video preps too, and you'll see that they'll eat huge pieces. You know, a lot of times I give them a whole leaf like this and their mouth just rips off a piece this big, so that will be a fun video to get. It's hard to get that type of footage during breeding season because they're just not hungry. So yeah, we're just gonna tear these up. Rip them apart. They do enjoy the bite-sized pieces. Make sure that each kid gets an equal amount. And Suyo is currently in the closet. He slept in the closet last night. So he is just slowly waking up in there. Sometimes he likes to chill out for a little bit longer. And sometimes he'll come down right away. Yesterday he came down right away. Today he's chilling. So if I hear him, I'm gonna go help him out. Make sure that he's not roaming around looking for Juno, because I don't have everything set up. They're in cages with curtains, and before one of the adult males comes out and hangs out and roams around, I make sure that the curtains are closed so that they don't get to see each other. Alright, so now that's it for the collards. I'll show you what that looks like. This is Juno's. This is Suyo's. I just do that. Like, I keep Juno's on this side and Suyo's on this side. Even though the plates are the same, I still use the same plate for each kid. Like, that's not necessary, but it's just something that I do. Alright, so now we're on to the dandelion greens. In case they do need something specific that's a little bit different, like, for example, Juno doesn't eat quite as much as Suyo during breeding season. So knowing that that side is Suyo's, I'll make that plate just a little bit heftier. So yeah, we're just pulling the leaves off of these stems for the dandelion greens. These leaves are a little bit smaller, so the pieces kind of end up a little bit smaller like that. Like this size. And I'm just discarding the stems. So. And as I tear, I look for like parts that are not so good. So like this part, I won't feed him. I'll rip it off. I forgot to tell you I was doing that. Like this, if I see black around the edges or anything like that, I rip it off as I go and just give them the fresh parts. Because my jungle kings deserve the best. And at the end of this video, I will put nutritional information, which are just going to be screenshots for today, that show the different nutritional content of each of the foods that we're giving here. So, and then like something to take into consideration is the amounts that are given too. So eventually during videos, that's something that I'll include during the food prep. I'll pop that up on the screen and I'll tell everybody, you know, like 6 blueberries has this much of this much stuff in it. But I'm not quite ready for that yet. I have to do like a little bit of research first. So yeah, the dandelion green stems, well, and the collard stems, they're a little bit tough. And that is another reason that I prefer to just break away the leaves instead of trying to chop up the stems, because they're tough and they're pretty thick. So I mean, these kids, they can chomp on some, like I don't think it would be too big of a deal if a little stem got in there, but I just like to make it, just keep it 100 for them, you know? So. And we're almost done with the greens. It's been about 10 minutes. And I do food prep fresh for them daily, unless I'm going somewhere, if I'm going on a trip or going out of town, which doesn't happen a whole lot with these kids, because they're pretty high maintenance. I want to look into hiring a sitter who's very knowledgeable about iguanas for future. But their setup is a little difficult. Really, the way their cages are set up, it's really not very easy for a person to get in there and clean and do what they need to do, especially with the kids in there. So that's something that I'll be taking a look at in the near future. But for now, it just is. Okay, so the greens are done. I'll show you what the plates look like. There's Juno's, his bite-sized pieces, and there's Suyo's, his bite-sized pieces. This is what my messy sink looks like. We've got the discarded stems in here. I'm gonna go ahead and throw those away. I don't have a compost here in this apartment. And then the blueberries. I keep my sink very cool. Everything's good here. So let's move on to, we're gonna move over here. In my, let's see. There. The blueberries are going to go on top. We got this banana here, that's going to go on top as well. You know, we could mix everything together in a dish, stir it up, and then put it on the plates, which I do that often. Today, I don't feel like getting any more dishes dirty, so let's just do each one. We'll start with the parsnip. Alright, so I'm going to move this just a little bit. I'm just going to peel the outside off first. Sorry if the pieces fly at y'all. We're having a parsnip party over here. So. Oh, I hear somebody. Who is it? I think Suyo's coming down. And if he does, I might have to put this on pause. So that I can make sure he doesn't try to see Juno, which he will try to see Juno if I'm not keeping him from doing that. Okay, so we peeled off most of the outside layer. That was quick. Alright, so I'm just going to chop off the end here. Now, I'm still going to keep peeling for what I'm going to feed them. I'm still going to peel and then chop. I love the smell of parsnips, for real. The mix of like parsnips, carrots, strawberries, bananas, I think is a really good slaw. Alright. And then I don't like to feed them the core, so I'm gonna chop the excess core off and keep peeling. And then we still have enough for another food prep. So I'm going to put that to the side. Alright, so this is what this looks like. Now let's chop it up for them. I really need to sharpen my knife. It's pretty dull. Just turn this whole cutting board. Ooh, sorry about them noises, y'all. Did not mean to do that. I wonder if Suyo's curious what his mom is doing. Flip it again. Alright. So all of the pieces are chopped up pretty well. This is what they look like. And we'll put half of these on Suyo's plate. Just sprinkle them on there. Boom. And then we'll put the other half on Juno's plate. Boom. So I personally kind of like to go in the order of the least messiest vegetables and fruits first for chopping so that I can keep reusing the cutting board without having it be a mess, you know? So next we'll do the okra, and then that's going to be it for the cutting board. The banana, I just smush, the banana and the blueberries I smush by hand. So this is the last thing we gonna chop. Side note, fried okra so bomb. I love fried okra. Pan fried okra and some avocado oil with cayenne pepper, some red pepper flakes, a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. Just that, it's so good. A little bit of curry, a little tiny bit of curry powder in there too. See if I can get this prepped before Suyo wants to start roaming around here. So I'm going to give these another chop, but this is what they look like. Skirt. Alright. So this is what the okra looks like. And same thing. Half and half. This stuff is really sticky and slimy. So that's why I did this last for chopping. I gotta wash my hands. Rinse my hands. Get the cutting board out of the way, and we're almost done, guys, for today. Show you what that looks like. A little bit of color. My kids do like the color white. I think it resembles flower petals to them. So now let's just do one plate at a time where I show you, like, so you can get a good view here. So let's see. Oh, we actually have 8 blueberries. So each kid will get half of the banana. Sorry, half of the half. So they're each getting 1/4 of the banana. And I just smush it right into the food. Try to get it all mingled in, get everything all mingled in with the greens. You know, gotta get the kids to eat them greens, so. All right, there's that one. And onto Juno's. My knife is about to fall in the sink. It's about to be loud. Disclaimer. Oh, maybe not. Okay. You hear that? Just a little banana squishy ASMR there for you. Oh, I hear Suyo coming down. Alright, so then the last thing. Each kid is going to get 4 blueberries each. I said 6, but I miscounted. There's 8 here. So I'm just going to squish them into the food. And it's been 21 minutes to food prep and talk. Chat a little for food prepping for 2 adult male iguanas for the day. And I will give them water by hand. I said by mouth. Obviously by mouth. But they each have a spray bottle. And I do give them water during the day to encourage, because they do get dehydrated in the winter months, and also because they're eating less, they take in less water. So I supplement with water from a spray bottle for each of them. So I'm going to rinse my hands off and then show you the final plating. And we can put Suyo's food in his room. I do call their cages rooms because I just think it feels better. We can put Suyo's food in his room today, but we can't go into Juno's room today in the video because since Suyo's out, I can't be having Juno's curtain open, so I need to wait until I put Suyo back in his cage and then feed Juno. As a cage. Well, anyways, you see what these look like. Alright, so we'll leave Juno's here. You know what? Let's just go ahead and take Suyo's and put it in his cage. There's Juno. Hi, Berry Bay. Oh, he's chilling. Mom loves, I'm not going to talk to him. Mom loves when her kids are chilling. It makes her so happy. All right. So we're just going to put, he's particular about where he wants his food. I try to put it so that it is in the light. But there's not a ton of space. Suyo likes his food on the ground. He likes to come down and poop and then eat. Whereas Juno over there likes his food on his basking level. So I try to get it in the light as much as possible in this spot, because when he comes down, he poops right in this area if he doesn't poop in his water. And he likes to try to get out in this area. So if I put his food here, it just ends up everywhere. If he does go in his water, he'll kind of go around it a little bit, or he'll go around the tree. So that's kind of the safest spot for the food, where it has the most potential to stay on the plate. Well, let's say hi to Suyo real quick before we end the video. Where's my babe? He came down. Hi. Hi, baby. Oh, hi, honey. Oh, my big boy. Hi. Did I have that video zoomed in the whole time? Dang. We probably could have seen more food prepping if I didn't have it zoomed in. Hi, honey. Good morning. Well, he slept up there, and then he chilled up there, and then he came down. So you're so handsome. Kiss. Oh, you guys, I just love these kids so much. Look at those eyes. He's so loving. Well, we're almost at 25 minutes, so we're going to do some cuddles, and that's it for the food prep. We'll put the nutrient info at the end of the video. Bye, guys.